Welcome to today's video. We're going to be watching some videos I didn't watch the other day because my back hurt. If you enjoy watching, I stream every day on Twitch except Sundays. So if you're watching on YouTube, I encourage you to come over here sometime and hang out. You might watch one of these live. You might watch something else because I do a lot of other stuff too. If you're watching on Twitch, go to the YouTube channel right now and subscribe because if you somehow miss one of these videos or miss some of the other stuff, you'll see them on there. I promise. And if you are one of the people trying to interrupt me during the intro, I already turned TTS off. So, ha! Who wins now? Me. And if you're on YouTube, once again, if you're on the channel, consider subscribing because it's very appreciated and it's great feedback to know that I'm doing a decent job. All right. Intro. One more. We're going to watch another from Stay Awake called Killer Realizes His Victim is Still Alive.
What you are watching is the moment Grand Rapids police officers respond to a violent shooting in the West Grand neighborhood.
At this time, we do not know if there's any victims with a red Charger that went over the median.
It looks like we got one gunshot.
When they arrived on the scene, officers found a red Dodge Charger on the grass next to the road. Inside the vehicle, they found a young male covered in blood, still showing some signs of life.
Oh.
No guns.
Man,
Damn.
You got dig through it? I'm just trying to get the door open.
Ooh.
Got it. All right. Hey, sir.
get ready, man. Come on.
He's got one to the head.
Ugh.
Michael Munson. Okay.
As the paramedics fought to keep 32-year-old Mikey Munson alive, two men approached a
Sick
nearby
name.
fence to ask if he was okay.
Hey, we had two running up. Hey, what's up? Is he all right? We're working on him right now. Do you know him? Yeah. How'd you guys find out about this? Hey, how'd you guys find out? They wouldn't say shit. They just asked if he was breathing and they took off.
It was unclear if these mysterious men were Mikey's concerned friends, or if they were the shooters, confirming that their target was dead. The officer quickly ran back to the fence to catch a glimpse of their vehicle, a gray Dodge Charger.
1612. I got a gray Dodge Charger. Pulled off on the side of 196 and ran down to check on the guy. And when I started asking questions, they took off.
That's what you should do.
Southbound.
Several patrol units were told to be on the lookout for a gray Dodge Charger, while the officers on the scene spoke to witnesses.
What'd you see?
I was coming down here, coming southbound, and I saw that Charger all of a sudden jump the curb.
Yep.
I heard pop. There was an SUV, and I went peeling off down the road after he did that.
Although the witnesses saw that the shooter was driving a black SUV, they were unable to see the actual shooter. Unfortunately, none of the surveillance cameras nearby captured the shooter either. However, they were able to get some insight by looking at the bullet holes in the car. Two bullets had struck the vehicle. One of them hit the rear passenger side door, and the other went straight through the front passenger side window, hitting Mikey directly in the head. Based on the accuracy of this shot, the detectives believed that both vehicles were stopped at the time of the shooting. After being hit, Mikey accelerated over the curb and stopped on the grass. While inspecting Mikey's vehicle, the investigators also found an abundance of cash, drugs, and several cell phones, leading them to wonder if this was a drug deal gone wrong. The medics were eventually able to stabilize Mikey's vitals.
All right, hang in there, buddy, all right? We're going to get you up to the hospital, okay?
He was loaded into an ambulance and transported to the nearest hospital for emergency surgery. Meanwhile, the details of Mikey's shooting were broadcast by several local news stations.
Investigation continues.
Thought getting shot in the head was an instant death thing? The body is very, very resilient.
Grand Rapids police received a report of a man with blood on him in the driver's seat of a parked car.
If you know or saw anything, please reach
Also, not every part of the brain is necessary for survival.
out to Silent Observer.
So, like,
at this point, the investigators were unsure if Mikey was going to survive. Little did they know, this wouldn't be the only shooting to happen that day.
Oh.
911, 911, where's your emergency?
At 9:58 p.m., 911 calls began pouring in to report a shooting in the Highland Park neighborhood, just 3 miles away from where Mikey was shot.
There was about 6 or 7 shots fired off south on College and Leonard.
Officers
Don't.
immediately rushed to the scene.
Don't do it.
Victim. Was someone shot?
Yes, there was.
Although this witness said that somebody had been shot, the officers were unable to find any victims. Apparently, the shooting was between 2 vehicles, and both vehicles had already fled the scene.
Anybody witness anything? What vehicles did we see?
SUV, older model, maybe before 2010. There you go. Yep. I don't know the exact name of it.
Okay.
After speaking with
Another
more witnesses,
SUV.
the officers learned that a black Dodge Durango was shot at by somebody driving a gray Dodge Charger. But nobody saw who was in either vehicle. So they asked for local news to release these details, hoping more witnesses would come forward with information.
As for the suspect, right now police is still searching for that person. We do know this is a neighborhood that is a mix of residential and businesses in the area. So police actually are working with them right now. They're using that surveillance video, trying to figure out where that person is.
After closing off the street with crime scene tape, the officers retrieved the surveillance footage from a nearby bar called the College Inn. Just before 10 p.m., the black Durango can be seen waiting at a red light when the gray Charger suddenly pulls up beside it and fires multiple shots. Both vehicles then speed off down the street. The investigators immediately wondered if these were the same vehicles involved in Mikey's shooting. Maybe the black Durango was the same SUV that the witnesses saw fleeing the crime scene.
I heard pop, pop. There was a SUV.
Same
and I went
vehicles,
down
the
road
same
after
day,
that.
similar
And maybe the people
crime.
who checked on Mikey, the people driving the gray Charger, were his friends, and they tracked down the black Durango to get revenge. Unfortunately, the detectives couldn't make out the license plates on these vehicles from the bar surveillance footage, and they couldn't find any other clues as to where the vehicles went following the shooting. So, the detectives told Grand Rapids patrol officers to be on the lookout for a gray Dodge Charger and the black Dodge Durango. In the meantime, the detectives looked through Mikey's social media for answers, and they discovered that he was actually an up-and-coming rapper who went by the name Mikey North. In his songs, Mikey rapped about one thing more than anything: drug dealing. It turns out that Mikey was a well-known pusher in Grand Rapids, and even went to prison for 6 years for an incident involving one of his customers. The customer had owed him money, so Mikey went to his house and threatened him with a gun. The customer then snatched the gun from Mikey's hands and shot him in the leg. Mikey fought to get the gun back and was eventually successful, but the customer's mom jumped between them to protect her son. So, Mikey shot her in the leg. Thankfully, this incident didn't escalate any further. Mikey drove himself to the hospital to get bandaged up, and as he sat in one of the rooms, the mom he just shot rolled past him in a wheelchair and exclaimed that Mikey was the one who shot her. The police showed up soon after, and Mikey was promptly arrested and charged for the shooting. Thanks to a plea deal, he was only sentenced to 6 years in prison. He was released from prison in 2021 and had an emotional reunion with his children.
Aww. That's
But
crazy,
just weeks
dude.
later,
That was
Mikey went
wild.
straight back to selling drugs. At one point in 2023, Mikey had another run-in with the police after he stole a vehicle and was drug dealing out of it in the town of Portage, Indiana. When he was confronted by the police in the middle of one of his deals, Mikey took off and a high-speed chase ensued. He hopped on Interstate 94 and outran the police by driving on the shoulder of the highway. The chase continued east for over 20 minutes before he made a left turn and headed towards Michigan City. At this point, the officers from Portage backed off, and authorities from Michigan City and Trail Creek took over the chase. Right before he entered the city, the poor road conditions caused Mikey to crash his vehicle, so he hopped out and fled authorities on foot. After hunting Mikey down, officers formed a perimeter around him, deploying a drone and a police canine. Eventually, Mikey surrendered. Police found drugs and $855 in cash in Mikey's pockets. He received multiple charges and wound
Didn't
up
feel
back
like
in prison
ditching
for
any
the
of
next
that,
year
the
and a
20
half.
miles
He was
down the
released in
road?
June of 2024 and was out of prison for just 90 days before he was gunned down. This shooting seemed like yet another drug-related incident, because when the investigators looked through the red Dodge Charger, the vehicle he was shot in, they found over $100,000 worth of drugs and cash throughout the vehicle. The detectives couldn't help but
Whoa.
wonder if history was repeating itself. Maybe Mikey was confronting one of his customers who owed him money, and he ended up getting shot. The detectives had a feeling that Mikey's cell phones held the answers they were looking for. But while the digital forensics unit worked on extracting the data from Mikey's phones, the detectives had a major breakthrough. A patrol officer stumbled upon a gray Dodge Charger with the driver still inside the vehicle. He immediately called in backup. Once backup arrived, the suspect was instructed to exit the vehicle.
Is there anybody else in the vehicle or just you two? I want you to step out, facing away from me with your hands on top of your head. Hands on your head when you get out. Face away from us. All right, I'm going to have you walk back to the sound of my voice. 2 more steps. Face away from us. All right, I want you to go down to your knees. Your hands on your back. Down to your knees.
The driver, 36-year-old Del McDonald, refused to speak to the police. But based on looks alone, the officers were certain that Del was one of the people who checked on Mikey after he was shot. After a quick look through Mikey's social media, the investigators discovered that Del and Mikey were shot. After a quick look through Mikey's social media,
What is that? What does that mean?
the investigators discovered that Del and Mikey were close acquaintances. The two had several pictures posing together and clearly had a shared interest in music. It turns out that Del is also an up-and-coming rapper that goes by the name C Styles and had collaborated with Mikey North in several music videos. After making sure Del was safely detained, the officers checked the Charger to make sure there were no other suspects hiding inside the vehicle.
Approaching the vehicle at a distance, making sure there's no one inside.
Empty vehicle, passenger side.
There was nobody
It
else
says
inside
no
the car,
bra
and there was no direct
challenge.
evidence linking this vehicle to the shooting.
And they censored
Ultimately,
it?
the officers didn't have enough to arrest Del for shooting up the Durango. However, they still charged Del for
You
driving
found it on the
without a
Facebook
license,
already.
but
Wow.
he was free to go.
Crazy.
After running into several dead ends, the detectives were beginning to lose hope, until they finally gained access to the contents of Mikey's multiple cell phones. On one of them, they found a video he recorded right before the shooting. In this video, Mikey is in the car trailing the black Dodge Durango, making several statements about wanting to fight the driver.
I think this dog right here, y'all.
The video then cuts out at 12:50 p.m., just moments before the 911 calls reported shots fired. Luckily for the detectives, in this footage, the license plate of the Durango was clear as day. So the detectives looked up this license plate in their database and were able to figure out exactly who the driver of the Durango was. A man known by some of the community as Jay. The Grand Rapids Fugitive Task Force worked tirelessly to locate Jay. After a multi-day manhunt, they eventually received word that he was staying at a motel on the city's outskirts. Lead Detective Katie Roskowski called the motel, and the staff confirmed that Jay was staying there, in room 104. Soon after, Katie received a call from that same room.
Detective Roskowski, I wasn't looking for you at a hotel. It wasn't me. You called me, so what can I help you with? So you have my number now, so if you need anything else, give me a call.
It turns out that the motel Jay was staying in was managed by his girlfriend's
Not
mom, so
a
he
Red
caught
Roof
wind
End.
that the cops
Not
were
a
looking for
Red
him.
Roof End.
But before the detectives moved in on him, they received tragic news.
And we begin with breaking news out of Grand Rapids tonight, where police say one person has died after a shooting.
Mikey, who had been in the hospital clinging to life for the past 5 days, had succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead. Now that this case was officially a homicide, the detectives pulled out all the stops and had the Grand Rapids SWAT team handle the arrest.
Was it room 104?
Whoa.
It's the fourth door.
Come to me! Come to me! Turn around!
I don't think I'd be trying anything stupid neither, bro.
Backwards to the sound of my voice! Keep coming.
They got the cars with the pillboxes on top, bro.
Stop right there.
You ain't
Jay
getting
was
out
put
of
in the
that.
back of a cruiser and transported to the police station, where he was brought into the interrogation room for questioning.
All right, so somebody tried to kill you, basically, on Friday night. And guy got shot earlier on in the day. It sounds like maybe he didn't like you all that much.
I can't say to nobody like me.
Okay.
I'm not a confrontational type of person.
Well, the guy got shot in Mikey North. You don't like North? That's us.
Oh,
Okay.
North from around as far as north.
Okay. The other day you got shot. Do you remember if you were by yourself during the day?
I was fishing on Fulton.
And was anybody fishing with you?
No.
Okay. Were you driving the Triangle then?
W alibi.
Okay.
For some reason, Jay seemed to have no problem admitting that he was in the area on
Why
the
is
day
his
of the
face
shooting,
censored?
driving around in
I
his
don't know.
Dodge Durango.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Seconds prior to this, our victim is filming your vehicle, filming a confrontation he had with you. And I don't know how to get around that because that's not adding up to anything you're telling me here.
Yeah,
man.
kind of a dumb
detective
answer.
is lying here.
Our victim is filming a confrontation he had with you.
There was no footage of a confrontation recorded directly before the shooting. The phone video we showed you earlier was all they had. The detectives were hoping this statement would pressure Jay into providing more information. But this tactic didn't work.
Let's say it
Jay was
sounds like he
adamant
doesn't
that
cooperate.
He never interacted with Mikey.
Him having a confrontation with me, man, they may never say words to each other.
He's got his phone out. He's like, here's this right here, man. I'm getting ready to do something.
Video of me?
The detectives were able to find one surveillance camera that captured Mikey's car pulling up beside the Durango for a moment. But even that wasn't enough to elicit a confession.
That's his car. That's your car. Your window is down. They know what kind of car you drive. He's pulling up to confirm it's you in there.
I feel like it's a picture trying to be painted.
This is your opportunity to take the brush from me, then paint it. And tell me what it is.
W
You know what I'm
metaphor.
saying?
I talked with y'all with my lawyer.
Since Jay asked for a lawyer, the interview was concluded, and without
Smart.
any concrete evidence for an arrest, the detectives had no choice but to let him go.
We're going to talk to the prosecutor about this. We don't have any intention of doing anything today. We're going to let you go all along. But if they end up charging you with this, are you going to turn yourself in, or I mean, we going to, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I don't want to have to go through this whole kind of thing like we did here. Was
Did you just say you were on a GPS tether?
like on your ankle tether? Which leg you get?
The detectives just realized that Jay was wearing a GPS ankle monitor
That
had been
solves
tracking his
solves
every
all of
move
it.
throughout the entire investigation. Something that would have been great to know before wasting countless resources tracking him down.
That also can track where he was that
This
time of
specific
the
ankle
shooting.
monitor was issued by the court directly, so it didn't show up in their system, which is why they missed this detail in the first place. The
Nice.
interview with Jay was concluded,
Classic.
and he was free to
W
go for now.
police.
The detectives obtained the GPS data from the
Dirt.
ankle monitor right away.
What do you mean
And
ankle
leading up to the
monitor?
shooting, Jay's location perfectly aligned with the location data from
What?
Mikey's phone. At 12:47 p.m.,
What
both
the
Mikey
heck?
and Jay were on Clancy Avenue near Belknap Park. Just 3 minutes later, at 12:50 p.m., while Mikey filmed the video we showed you earlier of him stalking the Durango, Jay's location seemed to be just meters away. At 12:51 p.m., the minute that the shooting took place, Jay's ankle monitor pinged at 1129 Turner Avenue, which was just down the street from where Mikey was shot. With a clear timeline linking Jay to Mikey's movements, the detectives decided to bring this case to the state prosecutor, hoping to obtain an arrest warrant.
Not looking
They
good.
believed that all of the evidence they gathered would be enough.
Man,
Come to me! Come to me!
They were wrong. After taking a look at the evidence, the prosecutor refused to press charges. As damning as the GPS and video evidence was, the detectives had no murder weapon, no way to confirm that Jay was the one driving the vehicle,
True.
and no clear motive for Jay to want Mikey dead.
True.
Patrol officers were even able to locate the Dodge Durango riddled with bullet holes from the drive-by shooting. But even still, there wasn't enough evidence to link Jay to Mikey's death. In the end, Jay received no charges. The Grand Rapids Police Department has not publicly released Jay's full name or any additional information to identify
That
him.
explains
They have
the
also
face being
censored his
blurred.
face in all of the body cam footage, as you can see throughout this video. Following Mikey's death, the police asked the community to help bring justice to his killer. However, no additional leads have been discovered, and the case has essentially gone cold. To this day, people can only speculate why Mikey Munson was killed. Perhaps he confronted a customer about money he was owed.
I think this dog right here, y'all.
Maybe this was some sort of rap beef turned deadly. Or maybe it was because he broadcasted to the world that he's not afraid to harm his enemy's family. In August of 2024, Mikey went on the Kid L podcast where he talked about his life in the streets of Grand Rapids, his extravagant spending habits, his rap career, and the drama that came with it. And most importantly, he explicitly highlighted the incident where he shot his customer's mom. Just a few weeks after this podcast went live, Mikey was killed. But wait, during the making of this video, we noticed one thing that made our heads turn. In the weeks leading up to Mikey Munson's murder, Mikey posted on his social media directly calling out an unnamed enemy. You prey on my downfall so bad because of a female. What that make y'all? It seemed that he may have been involved in some sort of love triangle. Not only that, but the day before his murder, he made one last haunting post where he made a snarky remark about how unloyal people end up being roadkill. As far as we could tell during our research, there has never been any investigation into this deadly love triangle theory. And we wonder if Jay or a scorned lover had put out a hit on Mikey. Many people who heard about Mikey's death believed karma got the better of him after shooting
Born
someone's
to be
mom.
a hustler.
But for the most part, people saw Mikey's death as a
Sleep,
complete
hustle, and
tragedy.
repeat.
On posts about Mikey's death, the comment sections are filled with people from all over Grand Rapids paying their respects. Even a well-known boxer, Peter Quillen, knew Mikey personally and publicly mourned his passing. He posted on Instagram saying, "Today, I mourn the loss of my little cousin, Michael Munson. It's a heartbreaking reality that I never expected to face. In this moment of sorrow, I encourage you all to listen to my words. Find the old version of yourself and remind them that the new you is here to stay. Life is a journey, and even in the darkest times, we can honor those we've lost by striving to become better versions of ourselves. Let's cherish the memories, embrace change, and continue to grow. Rest in peace, Michael."
Wow. Any information regarding Michael Munson's death, please contact the Grand Rapids Police Station. Wow. Stay Awake's got some banger cases they're finding lately, too. That's crazy. That is... Yeah, I mean, I'm not super shocked they didn't charge him. I'm a little shocked. Because, like, he was clearly in the car that did it. But, you know what? He asked for a lawyer. And admitted nothing. And that's probably the only reason he's not in jail. And we don't know who it is. Don't know who did it. Don't know why, etc. Pretty crazy. I mean, that's a great example of like how a lawyer saves you from jail, for sure. Yeah, they can show he was there, but yeah, they can't prove he was driving because they don't have footage of him in the driver's seat. They don't have a gun. They don't have a motive for it, etc. Yeah, so like there's plenty of reasonable doubt within that argument that would get him a not guilty sentence for sure. So I get that. I figured the GPS would be damning. I mean, it can be. But if they don't have anything else to build it off of, then it isn't. That's nuts. That's what a lawyer can do.